AutoCAD's email function is nice if you need to send a single drawing. If your file contains some references though, like images or other drawing files, we need to use the eTransmit command. eTransmit will ensure those extra files are also included in the email. In this lesson, we'll use eTransmit to package a drawing such that it can be sent to a client. On my screen I have a representation of a proposed site plan. This drawing contains a couple of external references. One represents the furniture inside this building and the other reference represents the floor plan. Now, I would like to email this file to a client and I want to ensure that they get all of the data associated with this drawing. So I'll use the eTransmit command. I can find eTransmit by opening the application menu. I'll come down to Publish and I'll select eTransmit. I then have the opportunity to save the drawing. I'm going to select No because I really haven't done anything. In the Create Transmittal dialog box on the left we establish what we are including in the transmittal. As it is now, the current file is going to be sent, as will the two referenced drawings. If I like to remove an item from the transmittal, I can remove the check from this box. Once we establish what is going to be sent, we can come over to the right where we establish how it's going to be sent. The eTransmit command utilizes a transmittal setup, and a transmittal setup is essentially a saved collection of settings. I'm going to click Transmittal Setups. I will then make a new one. I'll call this Custom Transmittal. It's not a bad idea to name your transmittals after the clients that you typically send your drawings. I'll then move down and click Continue. In the upper left of the Transmittal Setup dialog box, I can control how this data is going to be shipped. By default, everything will be packaged within a zip file. I can also create a self-extracting executable, or I can leave the files and folders as they are. By default, the drawings will be shipped using their original file formats. If I open the menu, I can also create a transmittal, or I save the drawings as an older AutoCAD release. In the event I save drawings as an older release where annotative objects didn't exist, this setting will ensure that they display properly. The next setting controls where the transmittal file will be saved. When I create the transmittal, I'd like to be prompted for a file name. If you create several transmittals, you can automatically overwrite the original, or you can increment the file name. Probably the most important setting is this one. Place all files in one folder. This way, when the client opens a zip file, they will only have the individual files and not a bunch of unnecessary folders. In the Actions area, I'm going to select Send Email with Transmittal. This will automatically bring up my email application when I use this transmittal setup. As you can see, there are some additional action options here. In the Include Options area, I can elect to include any other associated files. This would include fonts or materials. I can even include the unloaded file references. When I'm finished creating my transmittal setup, I will move down and click OK. I will then close the Transmittal Setups dialog box. So this is what I am sending. This is how I'm sending it. I'll then come down and click OK. I'm going to save the zip files inside the exercise files folder with the sharing data directory. I'll keep the default name and I'll choose Save. After AutoCAD creates a transmittal package, it automatically brings up my email application and attaches a zip file. At this point, my client not only has the latest version of this file, but he also has a copy of every other file that's associated with this one. So if your design includes reference files and you need to send your design to a client, use the eTransmit command. eTransmit will ensure your client gets everything they need by packaging all files associated with your drawing in the transmittal.